Hello everyone. Today what I want to talk about is how to deepen self-love. I think it's really easy to think that we love ourselves until we come across a part of us that we don't like. And a lot of times we try to ignore it or project it onto other people instead of just owning that, yes, that's a part of us too, and loving it. That's the key. I think, sometimes we're aware of these issues in us and we don't want to face them because we don't actually love them. And we have to realize we are all in a school, we're all learning. That's why you're here. You wouldn't still be here. And still love that part that's still growing and know that you're exactly where you're meant to be right now. The divine loves you exactly how you are. And loving yourself doesn't mean excusing a behavior or saying you don't want to work on it, but it also means loving that self, realizing that you are not perfect and that you're here to grow in that area. And if you ignore it, you're not going to grow. So there's a couple of things that brought me to this. One of them is I'm reading a novel right now, and in the book, the task of the heroine is to steal a mirror, to get this mirror that no one can get, because everyone who looks into this mirror turns crazy. They go insane, and so no one has been able to get the mirror. And she has to do it. She has to go get this mirror because in order to win a war and get the guy that she needs to join them, he said that she has to bring him this mirror. So it winds up that she sees herself truly as she is, and she cannot turn away, and she has to face who she really is in order to get this mirror. And she does. She accomplishes it. And it reminds me of especially the time I did Iboga. I had a little bit of that with ayahuasca, but especially Iboga. Iboga really had me go and see all of me, how I was. And the wonderful thing about the energy of Iboga, though, is it doesn't judge. It just showed me who I was, why I did the things I did, and from a very loving presence that allowed me to understand pain and trauma that had highlighted these areas where I still wanted to grow, and times where I had justified and, tried to make something okay or justify why I did something, allowed me to see times when I was wrong, and to really, though, give those times love and see that, inner child where the trauma had started and why I happened to act the way I did in order to see it so that I could actually act from a different place. It's also very good for removing addiction, all kinds of things that we can be addicted to, so that you can really see yourself. I think addiction really causes us not to see ourselves. It also showed me in my body where I held a lot of fear just because of all the violence I had seen on television and how myself could not actually discern the difference between what I saw and what really was. So it's a wonderful experience. I highly recommend it. And I even saw, as a child, my mother very unconsciously said, "What's wrong with you?" at one point in my life. And as a child, though, I took that and thought, oh my God, she doesn't know what's wrong with me. And I took it upon myself to try to find all kinds of people to be a mirror for what was wrong with me. How interesting, right? So I was able to kind of redo that moment and proceed differently and realize there's nothing wrong with me. And just because I was told that from a parent did not make it so, and to live my life differently. Another guy had the experience of a gnome coming and flipping over all these cards and saying, "This is when you're an asshole, and this is when you're an asshole, and this is when you're an asshole." But it was from a sense of humor. And so he was able to actually take it and want to live differently. And I think that's where we all have to come from. Is there's going to be times we overreact. There's going to be times where we don't act like we, quote, should act, but we act who we are, from who we are. And we just have to look at it from a sense of humor and go, okay, next time that didn't work out so well. I think next time I'll try something else. And I think that's, part of this life, is that we take it so seriously when we mess up. And if we took it from more of a sense of humor of I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm going to try, I'm going to do something different next time, that I think we could all improve. What I want to take you through now is sort of a meditation of sorts, and I learned this work from Dick Schwartz. I've mentioned him before, and he has a lot of work on what's called parts work. And in parts work, you see the different aspects of yourself. You see the part of you that's trying to protect you from being hurt again. So it will come forward, and it doesn't always come forward in the best way, but it will, to protect you. And it's wonderful work. I won't get into it all right now. What I really want to get into is the loving the parts, all parts of yourself. So I invite you just to get somewhere quiet and sit just for a few minutes. This is going to be a short meditation. This is a practice you can do every day yourself. And just close your eyes. And I invite you to visualize a part of yourself that you love. What part do you love the most? Really sit with that part of yourself. Enjoy that part of yourself and tell that part of yourself, may you be happy. May you be safe. May you be without suffering. Now, I want you to think of a part of yourself that you just feel kind of neutral about. It doesn't excite you or doesn't upset you. It's just you're kind of neutral. And if you can't think of something, just start doing the practice. Something may arise. And just sit with that part of yourself and tell that part of yourself, may you be happy. May you be safe. And may you be loved. And now for what might be the hardest part, I invite you to truly see a part of yourself that you don't like. It might be a part that you've been avoiding, or you might know exactly what it is that you don't like. Let it come up and just sit with it. See that self. And then tell that self, may you be happy. May you be safe. And may you be without suffering. And I invite you to open your eyes. And how did that feel? How did that feel to look at that side that may not be your favorite and to still give it a blessing? So you can spend more time doing this on your own and more time with each part, and you can do several parts. But it's a really, really good practice for, I have found, for deepening self-love, because self-love isn't just, adoration for the parts we love about ourselves. It's also for the parts that we're working and growing and learning on, right? So, and then I lastly kind of want to wrap this up by talking about Chiron. Chiron is in the sky, neither planet nor star, and has a lot of bearing in our astrology. And I actually picked this tarot card today. I do a card every day. See if I can. It's beautiful, beautiful cards. And these are by, this is the Alchemy Guidebook by Kim Kranz, who I love. And I know there is something big going on with Chiron right now, something to do with Mars and Cancer and Chiron and Aries forming a square, and I don't really know what that means, and something to do with Jupiter. You have to listen to the astrology channel to get more information. But I am going to read what the card said, because I think it's also part of self-love. Chiron is a cosmic enigma. In Greek mythology, he is said to be the rejected son of Saturn, who through the pain of abandonment becomes a great teacher and healer. Such is the paradoxical nature of this minor planet. It just demonstrates that our pain is a great resource. It will guide us to our deepest purpose if we were able to observe it slowly, gently, and with support. When the Chiron card appears, know that you're being called to deepen the work, to delve into tender parts of yourself that require patience and forgiveness. Victim mentality will get you nowhere. Your past blaming, it's time to let your painful experiences serve as a beacon of light to others. Chiron reminds us of where we've been and where that allows us to go. I find that very exciting and very accurate. One of the things for me when I did ayahuasca is it really showed me to forgive other people and to get rid of the victim mentality, that was just blocking me, to think I was a victim, and that, these things from other people were what caused me to be a certain way. I was able to forgive, and I also do kind of a past life research and clearing for people. If you ever want a session on that, you can contact me. But doing that kind of really showed me that I think sometimes we actually have these agreements with people before we even come into this lifetime, that they're going to do these things to us so that we can grow as a person. And we can't grow sometimes without those things happening. So even as painful as they can be, that does, I think, there's no perfect healer. Everyone has been through something, and it helps us to get to that healing side and that healing self. And so I really feel like, that is the first step, forgiving others, and realizing, for me, it was realizing that I'm not a victim. Now, it doesn't mean I may allow some of these people that have caused pain back into my life. It's still, I'm not bypassing. I'm not saying, hey, this wasn't painful at the time. These things were, but I'm seeing how that they were part of my purpose in this life as well, to have understanding for others. And I think forgiveness is one of the best practices that we can have. And forgiveness doesn't mean you still have to interact with that person. It just means letting go of the victim mentality and letting go that, for me, it was like letting go that they did something to me that I had to get revenge or anything on. So that's just, I think, very important part. Is the first step is really realizing that you're not a victim. Sorry about these dogs. We're wrapping up here. But you can, I think, let anything that's painful to you, serve as a beacon of light to other people and see where this journey takes you. And it is very true that I think that the pain we've had will, take us to our deepest purpose that we have. And it's a journey. It's not going to happen overnight. But I just welcome you today to forgive others for any pain that they have caused you and to work on that. And it may not be an overnight thing. It, may happen slowly, but try to look at them with compassion, just like you can look at yourself with compassion and realize that you're still growing and learning. And, that I guess the thing is we all have work to do. So really the thing again that can bring all of this into balance is love. So I love you all, and I wish you all a great day. Bye.